And we are live. We've got another Live with Lori here.
So fun.
This is amazing. I can remember the very first time that we did this. We were kind of in a
Closet.
Exactly. And here now we have a bigger room. We have lights. We have a production.
This is the real deal.
This is crazy.
I love it.
This is absolutely awesome. I cannot thank you enough for doing this. I know how busy you are. I know how much you have on your plate, and just to take the time to be here is absolutely awesome.
I'm thrilled to be in Texas.
Yes.
First time to Lubbock.
Yep.
Love being at the Texas Society meeting and love doing a Live with Lori.
Yes, these are awesome. So we always talk about what's going on with the MBRC, right? So I know one of the things that you guys have me volunteering doing is the ambassador program. So we've got new applications coming up, right?
Every fall, we will send out a call for applications. So in October-ish timeframe, we'll put out the call for 2026. But we have a great group of social media ambassadors this year that are doing some fabulous posts. We send content to all the ambassadors to post, but then we like them to do some organic posts themselves. And I've been so impressed with what I've been seeing this year. So it's fun. It's engaging. So if you know a social media ambassador, make sure you're following them on all their social channels. If you want to be one, make sure that you're applying in the fall because we'll take a whole new class. And we'll also have some repeaters come back and join us. JJ is one of our social media ambassadors. So yeah, it's a great program and we're very excited that it's taken off the way that it has.
Absolutely. And you get some swag.
Absolutely.
You get some swag whenever you do this. So this is awesome. Yeah. So, some of the other updates that are coming, right? We've got a new test that's coming. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So in January of 2027, we will roll out the respiratory therapy examination. So this is replacing the current TMC ClinSim system.
Okay.
So it'll be a single multiple choice exam assessing breadth of knowledge and depth of clinical judgment, all in a multiple choice format. Low cut will earn someone the CRT credential.
Right.
High cut will earn someone the RRT credential. So we're basically taking out that second exam, if you will.
So all of us that have taken the test before, like 2026 and before, we've had to go through the ringer of 2 exams.
Yes.
Right?
Well, everyone since 1960 really has had to do that. It started with an oral exam and then it went to the latent image ClinSim exam and then it went to the computer-based exam. And so it's just an evolution of the credentialing system. But it is best practice and we want to eliminate any artificial barriers. And the ClinSim structure, the way that someone sits down and takes that exam is probably not the way that they're interacting with the bedside.
Right.
So we're eliminating that artificial barrier and we're excited to get this launched. This week, we are sending out an email to all of the program directors and DCEs promoting our session that we'll be doing at Summer Forum in July. And along with that, they will get a link to the new detailed content outline, as well as a chart that shows what's falling off the test and what's coming on the test in terms of new content. I will say it's not drastically different. The content has not changed that much.
Okay.
But it's there and it's available. We've heard the program directors that they want to have that information sooner than later. And this will give them opportunity to kind of digest it before we get to Summer Forum, and then they'll have an opportunity to ask questions. Yeah,
this is great information that's coming. We're meeting the standard of what national expectations are with testing standards, right? And that's what we want to do as practitioners is we want to meet the standard, right? And exceed it if we can. Absolutely. And exceed it if we possibly can. So lots and lots of changes, but we have to be adaptable. Like that is something that is a constant in medicine. Change is constant.
And that's what I say even inside of our little team of 21 people. We are blessed to be nimble and creative and find good solutions, as well as implement best practices. And we believe that we are kind of that standard for best practice when it comes to credentialing in healthcare. We've been around a lot longer than most credentialing bodies. And we have, lots of opportunities to showcase our expertise with our peer groups as well.
Very good. So you have opportunities to volunteer, plenty of opportunities to volunteer. I heard you talking earlier about the credentialing program with the credential maintenance program, the CMP, right? That's been around for
5 years now, 6 if you count the pilot year. and that continues to grow. Individuals whose credentials are subject to expiration can participate in that for maintaining their credentials, as well as earning CRCE credits. So they can get 6 CRCE credits if they're participating in that for their CRT or RRT, and 3 CRCEs for any specialty credential if they participate at a 90% level.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
All for that little $25 that you pay annually. You're maintaining your credential. You're getting CRCE. It's like,
Yeah, it's a double whammy.
It
Like
is.
it's a win-win-win.
It is.
Absolutely. So lots and lots of stuff that is going on through the MBRC. And we know that there are even more things that you're working on, right?
We are. So there's some big things coming down the pike with advanced practice respiratory therapy. It's been a long time in the making.
It has. It has. I remember hearing about the APRT, man,
Probably when you first got into the profession.
pretty early in my career. I think maybe in the early teens, like 20 teens is whenever I started to kind of hear whispers of it. And even like I would take the practice ACCS exam and I would hear people like, oh, you need to go take that test. And then like, when's the APRT coming? Right. So that was something that was always on my radar to do, but haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. Maybe here in Texas, we'll get something rolling.
Let's hope program soon.
I know that there is a lot of work that's being done. Surveys are going out for getting a program here in Texas. So, I'm going to talk and I'm going to bring in Mindy. Yeah. And you guys are going to talk a little bit about the work that you guys have been doing on the APRT. So if you want to just kind of get things started about like the work that you guys have been doing for getting, standards placed for the APRT.
Yeah, for sure. So we have been developing APRT, kind of the infrastructure since 2013. The MBRC protected the credential acronyms for APRT. We helped do some literature searches to identify where is an APRT needed the most in the profession and where do we fill that gap. And now, for the last 13 years, we've come a long way. And we have the first accredited education program. COARC developed standards for education programs that are offering APRT. The Ohio State University is the only program currently, but more to come. I think we'll see several more developing in the next couple of years. But we have our first APRT. Hi, right guys. Here, Miss Mindy Conklin, who you all know from RT Sidebar. But Mindy is working at the VA in Baltimore and is actually doing what the scope of an APRT would do.
Yeah, I've been practicing for the last 2 years, which most of you guys know. But I've been involved with the MBRC over the last probably what I would say several months.
Yes.
And I'll let Lori tell you because there's exciting things coming. But Lori and I met up a couple weeks ago in Kansas City, and we have put together, the MBRC has put together, I should say, an outcome assessment for those who graduate from the program. So Lori, can you tell us about that?
Yep. So much like we have developed self-assessment exams for our other programs, we are developing an outcome assessment for the APRT for education programs to use sort of as that end of program assessment test. I don't like to call it a test because it's not a high stakes credentialing exam yet. We need a little more critical mass. We need more than one program. We need more than 2 APRTs. But we are now in a position because we've developed this outcome assessment, which will be ready to go by the end of the year. When the time comes to develop a high stakes credentialing exam, we'll be able to pivot pretty quickly. We won't have to start from scratch. The foundation has already been laid. So, if we get more programs, it does take some time for those education programs to start up though. I don't know what that magic number is.
Right.
But we are definitely moving up the hill,
yeah,
not just staying kind of status quo. So I think we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good because we have 2 states right now that have legislation, Ohio and then North Carolina. The outcome assessment will also show legislation when we go to pass that, hey, they did pass an exam to, when they graduated. Right. And that gives us a little bit more leverage, I think, when it comes to passing bills, nationwide.
Absolutely. And we've said all along, it can be used for program outcomes. This could be used for those initial states and it could be used for employers who, if they start employing more APRTs in these initial phases, eventually we will get there to a high stakes exam. It's just, you have to have the numbers to support it.
Right.
Going forward. And we know the number will never be huge. But, let's say we at least get to 3 digits.
Right. That would be really good. I mean, we have 16 graduates, I believe, right now. So hopefully, maybe 2026 is when the outcome assessment will be out. Do you think?
Oh yeah. I would say by the end of this year, early next year.
So graduates will be able to take it. And it'll show, their progress through the program. Even the ones who graduated with me back in 2021. I mean, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So they have some studying to do.
Yes, they will.
This is the first time I've ever been involved with anything with the MBRC. And it was, actually a really amazing journey to learn how the MBRC functions. And, I really appreciate that and the standard that you guys set for respiratory therapists in our profession.
Well, thanks. It is a process. I always say there's a learning curve, of how we do exam development. But we make sure that it's done with integrity and with a process that we follow and with experts there to help our content experts along the way to make sure that we're writing test questions that aren't tricky, that aren't biased, that are going to perform well and really assess that competency that needs to be looked at.
I will tell you, the first time we got the email, hey, will you write some questions for this outcome assessment? I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm not an educator. I've never wrote a question before in my life, but I tried. I learned along the way, and it's not that difficult once you know the process.
Right. And we have an item writing video and guide on our website for anybody who's interested in writing items for the NBRC for any of our exams. And Dr. Shaw, our psychometrician, has done a nice little webinar about that. So he's kind of fun to listen to, and he'll walk you through the process and step by step.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does.
Absolutely. And what's unique about Rob is he used to be a respiratory therapist. So I always say he knows enough to be dangerous.
He does know. Yes. He told me some stories about when he practiced as an RT and then how he graduated from his program and met somebody that's basically how he got into the MBRC, and it kind of just led to where he is today. So I heard all about his background. He's a pretty amazing guy.
He is.
So,
he is.
But yeah, lots of great things coming from the MBRC, be an ambassador, support your little self-assessment so you get your CREs. So thanks, Lori.
You're welcome. It was great to be here.
Live with Lori, we're here in Texas. It's the lady, what's the people called? The lady? She'll tell you.
So here in Lubbock, right? We are here in Lubbock, and we have Texas Tech is in the backyard. Lori loves Tech because she loves Pat Mahomes.
And Nyjah Kennedy.
Absolutely. We just
Kansas people now.
Fantastic. Absolutely. So we are huge Red Raider fans. We love it. Everyone throw your guns up. Absolutely. Wreckham Tech. We absolutely love it. My wife is a Longhorns fan, so she's a little confused, but it's okay. We are in Red Raider country, and we absolutely love the fact that we got the opportunity to come home. We got to come home to Lubbock, Texas, where I grew up. This is absolutely amazing. So, Lori, you got to see my hometown. Mandy, you got to see my hometown.
Yes.
I wish we had more time and I'd take you around, like where I went to high school and do the whole
tour.
Right.
Yeah, I was just excited because when I got here, they were actually having football practice.
Yes.
Texas was having football practice. And that makes me happy because it's almost football season. And you guys all know, because I'm from Ohio, that I'm a big Buckeye fan. But I'm pretty adaptable. So, I can bend with JJ's way, certain ways.
As long as it's not maize and
blue, right? Yeah. As long as it's that team up north, I'm okay.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
That neighbor.
Maybe this one's on the other side. Growing up in Michigan,
Right.
I bleed a little maize and blue.
That's right.
And unfortunately, I don't root for Tech in football because, I live in Big 12 country.
You do. You do.
So we wear purple in our family.
You have K-State. K-State has done really well the last couple of years.
They have.
We love this. We love the opportunity that you guys, with having you guys here. Thank you so much for jumping on this live. It is something that we love doing every time we get together.
Yes.
So look forward to anytime that we're together.
Yes, Summer Forum.
Live with Lori. I will be at Summer Forum.
Yes, I will be there too. And so
I will not be. No, I will be working. I do have to see patients, guys. So I will be working. I don't travel again. like to a respiratory conference until I go to New Mexico.
Oh,
So,
Mexico.
yeah, be in
Well,
yeah.
JJ and I will hopefully go live
We
again
will
from
go
Fort
live.
Lauderdale.
Absolutely. We will be in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
You guys can always jump on. You could always join us anytime that you would love to be a part of this conversation. Maybe we can even open it up to where someone can ask a question.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. So
love
look
that.
forward to that. Fort Lauderdale Summer Forum 2025.
Yes.
We will be there.
In a month.
If
Yeah.
you're not there, you're a square. See you guys.
Bye.
Vapotherm does not practice medicine or provide medical services or advice. Any clinical recommendations provided herein are solely those of the speaker. Practitioners should refer to the full indications for use and operating instructions of any products referenced before use. Hosts and producers are paid employees or consultants of Vapotherm, and our guests are not compensated.